Hello everyone. So welcome back to this channel once again, and today we are here to discuss this topic, that is sending HTML emails on the IBMI. So the prerequisite to do this is to first configure the mail server framework, MSF, and the SMTp, that is the simple mail transfer protocol, on the IBMI. Then you can use it to send the mails on the IBMI. Now come to the program. So here we have written a program that will send the emails on the IBMI. So it will basically send the MIME email using the SMTP protocol. So MIME is basically multi-purpose internet mail extension protocol that will send the non-ASCII based data. So this is the ABCDIC data, and that will send in the non-ASCII based data to the recipients. SMTP was basically used to send the ASCII data, so that's why MIME was used here. Now you can see we have created a program send email. So this will basically take input some parameters like from address, that is from where the email has to be sent, like myeasyclasses2@gmail.com. That's the email address from where I want to send the email. From name, that's the name of the person. To address, that will be the recipient of mail from where I have to send the mail. That's the subject of the mail, and this is an HTML message that we can create or we can send. So this is the prototype and this is the procedure interface. Now you can see the first line, binding directory QC2LE is defined here just because we will be using some C functions, so that those definitions will be reflected here. That's why we use this binding directory. Now this was the input parameters to this program, send email. So whenever we call this send email program, we'll pass all these things. Now you can see all these things are defined as constant, but here you can see this is based upon the DS, that is the email address, and having the dim 20, that is an array as well. So basically at one time we can pass 20 email addresses or recipients, or we can send email to the 20 recipients. So that's what the program is doing here. We can increase this number as well as per our demand. Now the first thing come to our mind is what is the structure of the email address, that is the to address. So email address structure is this one. So the first 4 bytes are unused. Then the type is something like to CC or BCC that we call, and this is the name, and this is the address of the email. So this is the email address composed of, this is how the email address composed of. So this is the DS for the email address. Now the main important thing is we are going to use the QtmmSendMail API that is present in this service program. Let me show you. CALLPGM. This. So you can see this service program has this procedure QtmmSendMail defined within it, and that we are going to call to send the MIME email. Now this API basically supports sending multiple attachments as well at one time, but there was a command SNDDST send distribution command that does not support that. But here in this example, we'll send this simple basic HTML, one line HTML message. Now this API works in two steps. The first thing is to through our program we need to create a file on the IFS that contains the ASCII data, or you can say the ASCII file, and then we call the API and provide the name of the file and the address where we want to send the mail. So the SMTp use that file or address to forward the email. Now this API has some parameters like file name length, that is the IFS file which we will create at the first step. This is the originator address and length, that is the from email ID, and this is the to email ID basically. So here we can pass as 32767 emails. This basically based on the ADT0100 structure, data structure, and this is the total number of recipients. So it should be at least one. This is the error code. All these parameters are input, but this one is input output both, because here we receive the error code if any error occurs while sending the email. Now we saw that we use the like ds here again at 200. So this is the structure of that at 200. So here basically the offset to the next address structure. So we'll basically pass the size of this ds, and this is the length, and this is the format name that we pass, and this is the distribution type, that is 2cc or bcc. This is reserved, and this is the address. Now we again define another ds, recipient list, which is same as of at 200, this one, and we define some elements using the to address element. So basically array ds, so to address is like something, let me show you, is at the first line here. So to address was having dim20, so we are defining dim20 here, that is, this is same as this one. Now we have some variable recipient count, how many recipient has to be sent the email, temporary file name that we are going to create, that's a mail date. Now this was the basic thing that we have iterated. This was the send email PR and PI. This is the DS email address DS that was referred here. This is the QtmmSendMail API prototype. This is the DS format that was defined here. This was again same DS defined based on the at 200 structure. These are some variables that will be used in the program. Now for creating or generating a temporary stream file name, we have some APIs in the C. So you can see that generate temporary stream file name is the procedure that we have created, but this is basically going to call the C IFS API, that is _C_IFS_temp name. So this is and you can see this is taking some input of length 39A. Options is a star omit, that is either we can pass this or we can ignore this while calling. So it will basically create temporary file name for the IFS file system. So create temporary file name means it will create a name for the file that has to be created, but it will actually not create a file. So the file name is actually of 10 chars, and has naming conventions like QACX and then some random characters or numbers. The directory for the file is temp/temp, so it will be created in exam and /temp/QACX, something like this, or it will be a random character number. So that's why I told you that we have used the binding directory qc2le in hspec so that it finds this function or other C functions. Note that this function only generates a temporary file name that I already told you for a file in the corresponding file system. The file will not be created by this function. So also, as this function returns pointer to the file name, so basically it returns the pointer, so we can use %str built-in function to get the value instead. So we can, if you want to get the value of the file name that has been generated, so we can use %str as well. So this was used to basically generate the file name, temporary file name, and this is used to basically remove the IFS stream file that will be created using the open. So open is here, you can see. So open will basically create or open the file using the C IFS fopen function. We are using the fopen, fclose, fputs function here to open, close, or write the data. That is more easy and you can say much better than other open or close or write functions, IFS functions. So here you can see for remove stream file, we will pass the file name as a pointer, and it will return an integer, that is the file descriptor. Whether it is successful or not. So now open stream file, basically we'll call fopen, and all this starts with _c_ifs and underscore, then the function name. So it will basically return the pointer. So you can see the file pointer like is defined. So file pointer here, you can see this is a pointer, and that is based on the prototype only. Now this will accept the file name and the mode as an string. We can pass it like a string as well. As you can see, we have defined options string and value. This is fclose, that is used to close the stream file. So we'll pass the stream file. You can see the like file pointer. That is a pointer variable. File descriptor like open stream file. So this is again the pointer, because open stream file, if you see, that returns a pointer. So it defines upon that open stream file. Now we defined some index to run some loop, and this is an header message. So we'll build the header message here. Fputs write a string basically. If it is an, you can see fputsStreamFile. So basically we use the fputs. So we'll pass the file stream, and this is the prototype parameter, and these are the two parameters, and this is the return value, that is integer. So if it's -1 means error, or if it is non-negative, then it's successful. Now you can see there were some other APIs or the functions used as well. They are from the C language. So you can see CEELOCT and CEEUTCO, and one more CEEDATM. So these three are used here. So first is basically get system offset from UTC, universal time coordinated. So basically here we get the formats, and here we get the current local date or time in three formats, that is the Lilian date, Lilian seconds, and Gregorian character. FC is basically 12-byte feedback code, and these are, you can see the structure. This was the structure here, and this will return the number of days since 14 October 1582, and this will return the seconds from this time, since this time. This is to get the offset, and this basically converts the seconds to character timestamp. Here you can see, here you can see the input seconds, date, format, character date, feedback. Here are hours, minutes, seconds, and FC and date. So these are all the output parameters here. Now here you can see OPDESC is used, just to mention that some operational descriptor are passed while calling them, and some of them in C actually needs them, as we don't know what actually the character length or the data type length is. So we tell the function to estimate that, or correctly evaluate the string into the particular variables or the parameters. Now, so these are the three APIs that basically used to set the date format that is used on the internet. Now, this is the RFC 2822 format. This is the date format. So here you can see variable. This is used to generate the RFC 2822 date format, and internet message format used to uniformly represent date and date and time, including in STDP and email headers. So here you can see what it includes. It includes the shortened day of the week, numerical date, 3 letters month, abbreviation year, then time and time zone, displaying as something like this: 01 1st June 2016. This is the time and this is the time zone. Now these are some variables that will be used in the above APIs to get the date format or the current date or conversion. Minutes, time zone, hours, time zone, minutes, time zone, current time, temp date. So all these things will be used in the above three APIs. I'll show you there. So NullErrorDS is defined here. You can see bytes provided, bytes available, that is used for the error code DS that is passed to the API, that is this one. So we define this NullErrorDS for this error code here. Now here are some constants defined. So constants, as I already told, that for the type we can define the 2cc or bcc. So for 2 it's 0 constant value, for cc it's 1, for bcc it's 2. So if I want to pass the email recipients as a bcc, I want to pass the type as 2. For cc I need to pass the type as cc1. For 2, I need to pass the type as 0 while calling or while passing the recipient email addresses. Now here the LF or CRLF defined. So for carriage return and the line feed, carriage return hex value is 0D, and the LF, that is line feed, is 25. So these are the two escape sequences that used will be using to build the HTML message. So it basically is a line feed is basically it will move the pointer or the cursor to the next line, and the carriage return will move the cursor to the start of the line without advancing to the next line. So that's the thing. Now the logic starts here. Till the time we are just defining the various DS variables, constants, formats, prototypes, and all those things. Now actual work start from here. So the first thing is to get the generated temporary file name in the temp folder. So we'll get from here. So we are passing star omit. We are not passing any parameter here. So we'll get the temporary file name using %str, since that was returning the pointer. So we use %str to get the name from that pointer. So we basically getting the string. So once we get the temporary file name, we will create that by calling the OpenStremFile API. So open will first create if it not exist, and then open that. So while opening, we'll pass the temporary file name that was written from here, and this here in mode we pass the w means write. So we're going to write with the code page 1252. Now if file descriptor is not null, that means it has been created and opened successfully with the passed mode or the code page. And if it is null, it will return from here. It means that the file is not created, we cannot send the email. So we need to set the last record indicator to on and return from here. Now once it is opened, what we'll do, we will close this file using the closeStreamFile by passing the file descriptor. So the file descriptor is returned from here. Once it is opened, a file descriptor is assigned to that file, and we'll pass that file descriptor here, and we'll close this file here. So once this file is closed, so this was basically the first step. The second step to create the, or you can see say that this was a step to create that file only here. Now we are opening it again with the code page 37, so that we are basically opening in text mode, so the data will be automatically translated. So if again the same check, if it is null, return from here. If it is not null, means it is opened successfully. Now what we need to do is, first thing we have done, we have created a temporary file. We have generated the temporary file name, created that. We have opened that in the text mode as well. Now we need to calculate the time zone in format this. For example, CST should show up as this. Now we'll first call the CEUTC0. We'll pass these hours, minutes, and zunk1, and this is optional. So we are omitting this. We are not passing this parameter. So if we'll go here, so you'll see that we are getting the system offset from universal time coordinated. Like we have GMT or IST. We have UTC as well. You can get the more information about UTC on the Google. Now we extract the hours and minutes from here in the time zone. So basically we are getting the structure from here. This is going to give the positive value using the %tabs. If hour is less than 0, which means we'll using the time zone dash, or if it is time zone as minus, sorry, and if it is not less than 0, it means plus. Like we do GMT plus 530 for IST, that's the same way, minus or plus. So time zone is plus in case if it is hour is not less than 0. If it is less than 0, it is minus. So what we'll do, we will do time zone plus equals to, we'll do the edit code X to retain those zeros, or removes the basically the decimal points, and we'll adding the hours and minutes. Now get the here we got the time zone using that first API CEEUTC0. Now we'll get the current date and current time, and we'll convert to the the format is specified for email in RFC 2822. So what we'll do, we'll first call CEELOCT. We'll pass the assigned or respective variables here, or the parameters here. Last is the omit, star omit, that is not required to pass. So we will get the current time from here, and then what we'll do, we'll pass that current time here and the format RFC 2822 format here, and we will get the temporary date. That's the date which is in the RFC 2822 format, which we already discussed. Like here, this is the RFC 282 format, like this one. So, or you can see that what it does is, so convert seconds to character timestamp. So you can see. So once that temporary date we got, what we do is we'll build the mail date, that is temporary date plus blank plus time zone. We'll add the time zone. Now here you can see the recipient count is 0. We'll first build the header, that is from, and the from name and its address. Now what we'll do is we need to get the then we'll add the line feed, that is we'll move to the next line. From first to the two address, whatever addresses have been passed, we have assigned the dim20 at the starting, that will pass. So we can pass at least 20 email addresses in 2CC or BCC, whatever type we want to pass. So what it will do is basically it will check two address index and will check the type. If it is blank, which means there's no more recipients left to be appended. Now what it will do, it will leave from here. Otherwise what it will do, it will add the addresses type first, that is 2CC or BCC, and then the name of the address and the recipient and the name of the two address, and then the address, two address as well, like from name or from address, to address and to name, and then again the const lf. Now for recipient, same thing we'll do with the recipient list. So we'll add the recipient list offset to next data structure with its size, and recipient list address format name would be at 200. Now what we'll do is, here is for to address, what we will do is we'll check the type first. If it is 2, then distribution type is const to address, that is 0. If it is CC, then 1. Then if it is BCC, then distribution type is 2. So these constant hold 0, 1 and 2. And if it is none of them, then what we'll do, we'll consider it as to address, so that is 0. So we'll increment the recipient count as by 1. Reserve will be always 0, and address will hold the address here on that index. So, and here the address length. So it will run in loop. So whatever email addresses have been passed will be appended to the header section. And finally, we basically so here you can see the recipient list is loaded with the recipient addresses. Now we'll build the header. Whatever header has been built, we'll add the mail date and then the const lf. Then we'll add the subject that has been passed, and this has to be like this only. And you can see what we did here. So this has to be like this. Now what we'll do is what we'll do is we have built everything here. Now we'll write the data to the stream file. So we'll first write the header to this file descriptor. Then we'll write the HTML message that we pass to this file. Then we'll simply write the message part, text, and then we'll close this file descriptor. So first thing was the header. The header was like this, and HTML message. Now what we'll do is we'll call the QtmmSendMail API to send the IFS file via the SMTp. So until this we have created the file, we have written everything on the IFS, we have closed the file. So when the file is closed, we'll call the QtmmSendMail API. So here we'll pass the file name, the length of the file name, and the from address, and the length of the from address, recipient list here. So whatever we have built it here, recipient list will pass here, recipient count will pass, and NullErrorDS will pass. So it will return any error here. Once this is called, we will remove the stream file that is created in the temporary folder, and then we'll return from this program. So that's all the program here. I'll show you this in the debug and how I'll call this. One more important thing here is the SMTP protocol or the SMTP is not set up here. SMF and SMTP is not set up here. So on the PUF 400, and we are not authorized to send emails from the PUF 400. So I'm not able to show you the exact message that is being said or the email that is received here. So you can try at your own servers where you are allowed to do the emails, but this will 100% work. This program will work. Now this is the calling program. So here we define the send email prototype, and we define the email address. DS. So here we define the qualified dim1. So now you can see that this is same as we defined in the send email prototype, and we are passing the email address dot type to name as blank. Just let me correct this. Okay, email address one dot address is myeasyclasses2@gmail.com. So what I'm going to do is the from address and the name. This is the recipient address that I'm going to pass, this one. So here we have only one recipient, and this is the subject, and this is the HTML message that I'm going to pass, and this here I'm going to return from here. So what I can do is I need to create this program first. This was the service program. First I'll do edtl. I'll add the QTCP because this will not be here on the library list, and I'll add these two libraries. Basically I'll add easy class one, where I need to create the program module or the program. Just create the module first. So you can see this is created. Now create the program. So we'll bind the service program here from where we want to get the definition of the QtmmSendMail API, and the activation group will be new here. Okay, let me check what. We can check what error it is giving. Okay, send email. So you can see the program is created. We pass the wrong name. Now if we do DSP-PGM send email, you will see that the module is binded from the same library, and the service program has been bind as well from the QTCP library. Okay, so now I need to call this. So first I need to create this module. Here you can see in a prototype we are calling the send email program, which we created here. Now we'll create the call PGM as well here. We don't require this now. We can set this to caller. Now this program is created as well. Call PGM. So now we'll debug this program and we'll see that how it works. But as I already told that we won't be able to demonstrate the actual practical email send here because this won't authorize us. But if you run this same program on your own IBM machines, then it will work. Now you can see email address. So it's 2, name is blank, and this is the email ID from where I need to send the email. Now this is the from. Now take Shift F10. So you can see temporary file name is blank currently. Now we'll call this API or the function. This will give us this name. So I already told that this will not create the file. Instead, this will provide the name to us only. Now here this file will get created. Okay, so you can see the file is created now. So file descriptor is not null, so it is not returning from here. Now we'll close the file. We'll open the file again. The file open is successful. Now you can see currently it's 0, 0, zunk 1 is this one. So the offset is the same. We didn't get anything. So we'll get the time zone by this. So this is 2p0, so that's why we are getting 0, 0 and 0, 0. So ours is less than 0, no. So will the time zone is in plus. So we'll get the time zone in hours plus minutes. So plus 0000. That's fine. Now I'll get the current time from here. So you can see we'll get the current time from here, and we'll pass this current time to this format, and we'll get the temp date. So you can see today is Saturday 23 September 2023, this time, and we'll append the time zone as well, plus 0000. That's now recipient count is 0, and we have the header information now from my easy classes, myeasyclasses@gmail.com. This denotes the LF line feed that is added. Now we'll append the recipient email addresses. So first it is checking to address dot type is not equal to blank. So once it is not equal to blank, it will append the header. So you can see to my easy classes, this one, and this will add it to recipientList.ds as well. So if it is 2, then it's 0, count is 1 now, and all these things. So now it is blank, so it will leave from here. So what we'll do, we'll have header now. So this is the header information. Subject was test. Now we'll write it to the stream file, but we won't be seeing anything here since the file is open right now. And once it is closed, then we'll be able to see the message. So once it is closed, we will able to see the messages. Now the first step is complete. Here we have created this stream file, that is the temporary stream file, which contains our whole information, the email information. You can see the from, email ID, to email ID. So in from we have the message, the name as well, but in to we didn't pass the name. So you can see to, we don't have the CC or BCC, we didn't pass that. So if we have passed that, we have the CC or BCC informations here. This is the date for the email, subject, and this is the information. Now you can see we have this HTML message, including with the tags. Now this API will take the file name length, the from address length, here the recipient list, here the recipient count, and this was the, so you can see the API has been called and there is no such error encountered, but the SMTp or MSF was not set up, so the email was not sent. Now you can see this file still exists. So once this is removed, once it is done, the file is basically removed from here. We also call this removeStreamFile as well, but we can see that the file link is deleted and we cannot access it now. Okay, so this will basically did nothing for now, so we can even remove this thing, that's not required. And here you can see the last record indicator on and return from the program. So this way we have called the send email program. So now you got to know that how the email works on the IBMI, how we can send the emails on the IBMI. Sorry for that. I cannot show you the demo, practical demo here. I showed you how the program will run, but if you run on your own machines where you are allowed to send emails, you can run this program. You can just um, you can just pass all these things from here, and that program will be same. There will be no change required in this program. The only changes required here is your parameter, that is this one, the address and this address, or this name and this subject and this message that you want to send. So that is only that change is only required here, and you can send the emails. Okay, so that's all here. Thank you and have a nice time.